Hello everyone, welcome to Easy Ganit. This is Samir Sardana. So guys, Maharashtra CET is around the corner and this exam might be happening in the month of June. And you know that in Maharashtra CET, data interpretation has the highest weightage in quantitative aptitude section. And I'm going to tell you methods, tips and tricks of solving 5 data interpretation questions in 5 minutes, right? I'm going to discuss a lot of data interpretation sets specifically relevant for Maharashtra CET exam, and you will be learning amazing tricks and methods of solving these questions of data interpretation for Maharashtra CET exam. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you a data table relevant for Maharashtra CET exam, and I will be telling you how by using conceptual shortcut methods you can solve these questions. You can solve 5 data interpretation questions in 5 minutes. Let's have a look at this question, guys. Let's read the information first. This is a set based on the basic percentage, but there's a lot of calculation involved. If you try to do this particular set with the normal method of finding the percentage values, you will end up wasting 10 minutes to solve these 5 questions. However, if you follow my techniques, my methods of solving this particular set, you will be able to solve all the 5 questions just in 5 minutes. Even less than 5 minutes. Look at the first question, guys. The following table gives the percentage of marks obtained by 6 students in 6 different subjects in an examination. So we have total, as per the statement of the question, guys, the table is giving us the information on percentage of marks obtained by 6 students in 6 different subjects. These are the students' name. I'm sure you'll be able to read it. These are the subject names. These values in the brackets are the total marks of that particular subject, and these values in the table that you can see are the percentage of marks. Do not do this mistake of assuming these values as numbers that these students have achieved. In fact, it is a percentage of marks that 6 of these students have got in each of these subjects. Now look at the first question, and you see that in Maharashtra CET exam, whenever you will be reading a set, it will be easy to interpret it. The problem lies in doing the calculation part, right? How to solve the question under 1 minute. And you guys know MBACET is a speed-based exam, right? Rather than advanced level questions, right? You need to maintain a speed of solving one question in 1 minute, and I'm sure you'll be able to get a target of 140 plus to achieve 99.99 plus percentile. So follow these methods to solve your data interpretation in Maharashtra CET exam. The following table gives a percentage of marks. Okay, so we have covered this question. Question number 1 says, what is the overall percentage of Priya? You see that this is Priya. We are supposed to find out the overall percentage of marks of Priya. So that means I need the marks of Priya in each of these subjects, and then I need to find out the overall percentage. Now, what will a normal student do in this question? What will he do? He will find out 55% of 150, then he will find 65% of 130, then 55% of 120, and so on. He will first find out all these percentages, then he will take the total of those values, and then that particular value as a part of this total value will be calculated as a percentage. Now that involves a lot of calculation. I'm sure if you follow this method, you end up wasting 3 to 4 minutes in this one single question. But let me give you a best and unique way of solving this question. This is not a rectification of any formula or anything else. It's a pure concept. You see that Priya is getting 55 here, 65 here, 55, 95, 55, 65 here. Can I say the minimum percentage that the Priya is getting in all of these 6 subjects would be 55% for sure? In none of the subject Priya is getting less than 55, so the minimum percentage that Priya is getting is 55% for sure, right? Now in addition to this 50%, you simply find out those values which are more than 55. Here in the second subject of English, you're supposed to take 65% of 130, but I have already taken 55% of every subject, so I'm left with only 10% more marks of English. At 10% of 130 is equivalent to 13 marks. 55 is The marks in math, I have already taken it as 55%. This value is 95, which is 40% more than my assumed value. So 40% of 100 is 40 marks plus 55 is there. I have taken it 55. 65, 10 percentage extra. 10 percentage of 150 is 15. You simply see this total value as a percentage of total marks, that will give you your answer. This is the extra marks that are not counted in 55. So I'll simply see this marks as a percentage of the total marks. The total marks are equivalent to 800. Now you see that 40 plus 15, 65 plus 13. Sorry, 55 plus 13 is 68. Now 68 as a percentage of 800 is 8.5%. Now 55% plus 8.5 extra will give you the answer as 63.5%. Now if you solve this method, if you use this concept based shortcut, now this is not a formula based shortcut, it's a concept based shortcut. If you use this method, I'm sure you get your answer in less than 1 second. You might less than 1 minute, right? You might be able to solve this in 40 to 45 seconds, but for that you need to understand these methods and tricks, right? It's a concept based shortcut rather than a formula based shortcut. I'm sure you got the point of this set. Now let's move to the question number 2. Let's move to question number 2. Here's a question number 2. It says, what is the aggregate marks obtained by Vishnu in all the 6 subjects? Now what will be your first thought process? I want all of you to first give it a try and then look at the method that I'm using to quickly answer the question in 30 to 40 seconds. You see that? What will you people do? I'm sure 99% of you will be first finding 60% of this, 55% of this, 40% of this. Well, find out all these percentage values, then you will take addition of it, and finally you will be finding the answer. But you see that finding the percentages of all these values is a difficult task to do. What can I do? I can clearly see the marks of Vishnu lies from 55. In some subjects is getting 60, then 55, then 40, 82, 65, 60. What can I do is I can straight away assume that, let's say, Vishnu is getting 60% marks in all subjects. That's my assumption, right? And I'll do the required correction in that 60% assumption that I'm doing. So the total marks, as you can see, are 800. I'll assume that Vishnu is getting 60% of 800, that is 480. Now let's do the required correction. I have assumed 60% marks in every subject. In Tamil, he's getting 60. I have taken 60, no problem. English, he's getting 55, but I have assumed 60. So there's a 5% less marks as compared to my assumption. I have counted 60% in English, but the actual marks are 55. That means 5% marks are less in English. So 5% of 130 is 6.5, but because this is less, so you need to subtract 6.5 marks from your assumption. Then you have 40 marks here. Marks are 65%. We have assumed 60%. So 20% less. 20% of 120 would be minus 24. Then we have 82. We have assumed 60%. 82, 60 and 82, 22% extra marks. 22% of 100 is plus 22. 65, I have taken 60%. 5% extra. 5% extra is 7.5. Here again 5% extra, 7.5. You see that 7.5, 7.15, 15 plus 15, and this is minus 2, and minus 6.5. Just add them up. You will see that this total is equivalent to plus 6.5. So the marks of Vishnu will be 486.5 marks, which is option number C. That would be the correct answer to the question, guys, right? This is how you're supposed to solve it, right? Now you can see the difference in your methods and my method of solving the question of data tables. This is the approach that you're supposed to use every data interpretation set. And do not forget, MBACET will be asking you minimum 20 to 25 questions of data interpretation. So I'll be discussing a lot of sets of data interpretation on this channel. Please keep following it. Subscribe to the channel to get the regular updates. Look at the question number 3. What are the average marks obtained by all the 6 students in maths? Okay, now you see that this is even more difficult question. Give it a try. I want all of you to give it a try so that you can understand the difference in your thinking and my thinking, right? what are the average marks obtained by all the 6 students in maths? Okay, so in maths, I want to find out the average marks of all of these 6 students. So what do I need to do? Normally, what you people must be thinking, let's find out 90% of Abhinay, 40% of Arvind, 66% of Divya, and so on, and then average it out over the total marks of math for all 6, which will be 720. 120 for each student, total will be 70. So this is how you're finding the average. But do you see that? When I will be finding, instead of finding the 90%, I know that ultimately I need to find out all these percentages of 120 and need to add it up. So instead of finding the individual percentage, why don't you simply add these percentages, which are 90 plus 40 plus 66 plus 40 plus 55 plus 65, and do not do this calculation at this moment. These are the marks I will be getting, and because all of these values are in percentages, so I need to divide it by 100. These are the marks. Now I will be finding this marks as a part of whole set of marks, which is total 720, 120 into 6, because I'm supposed to find out the average marks obtained by all 6. Okay, now to find out the average marks obtained by all the 6 students in math, what will I do? I will divide it by 6, right? I will be dividing this value by 6, right? So what you need to do now here is simply do this part only, right? There is no need to do anything else. I'm supposed to find out average marks obtained by all 6 students in math. Instead of finding all percentage values, right? Once you find out all these percentage values, you will be dividing it by 6 to find out the average marks obtained by all 6 students in mathematics subjects. So I will simply keep my calculation part as it is, right? Now you see this here. This get cancelled. 6 will cancel it on 2. This will cancel it on 5. 90 by 5 would be 18. 40 by 5 would be 8. 66 by 5 would be equal to 13.5. 40 by 5 will be 8, right? This 120 will not come in the denominator because we are supposed to find out average, not average percentage, right? And this would be 11, and this would be 13.5. Now add them up, you will get your answer, right? Okay, when I divide 66 by 5, it would be 13.2, right? And this would be exactly 13. Add them up, you will get the answer as 71.2. This is the way of solving this question, right? You do not waste time on finding these percentages, then adding and then dividing it by 6. I know that all these percentages have a common base of 120. So instead of finding all these percentage individually, why don't you add all these percentages and calculate it on the base of 120? And because you're supposed to divide it by 6, divide it collectively instead of dividing it individually, right? You'll get your answer more quickly. D would be the correct answer. Moving to question number 4, which subject has the best overall percentage? Now out of these 6 subjects, which subject has the best overall percentage? Now to find out, you see that if I pick one particular subject, let's say Tamil, again give it a try so that you can know the difference between the logical thinking, right? I'm supposed to find out the best overall percentage marks. If I have to find out the best overall percentage, what will I do? I'll first find out in Tamil what are the marks of these 6 students, and for that I need to find out all these percentages on the base of 150. Now you should always know that whenever the base of percentages is common, do not do the individual calculation, in fact do the collective calculation, right? So we have these percentages mentioned over here. I will not find out these individual percentage because I'll be wasting a lot of time. Now, but I know that I need to find out all these percentages on the base of 150. So base 150 is common for all of these percentages. 90 plus 100 plus 70 plus 60 plus 55 plus 7. Now these are the marks, that total marks that each of these 6 students will be getting. If I want to find out the overall percentage, then I will be dividing it by 150 by 6, 150 into 6 to find out the overall percentage. These marks as a part of total marks, which is 156, will be giving me the overall percentages of the 6 students. Now you see that the base value is going to be this, and ultimately 150 as a base will be getting divided by 150 in the denominator, right? And this 100 is coming from percentages. This will be coming for every subject, and this 6 is because they are total 6 students, right? So this will also be coming for every 6 students. Can I say in base 106 will definitely be coming in every case? And the base here on which you are supposed to find out the percentages will ultimately get cancelled in every case. So when I'm supposed to do the comparison, I don't need to find out the values. Look at the question, guys. This question is a comparison based question rather than finding a unique value. So I know that this base of 150 does not play any role. Ultimately, the comparison, which one will be having the highest overall percentage, will be based on the total of these percentage values which are given in the table. So what I'm going to do is I will simply find out, do the addition and compare, right? Whichever number have the highest addition will be my answer of the question, right? So I'm sure you will be able to do the addition, right? Once you find out all these addition value, and you know that doing the addition of these percentage will not take much time. So straight away you will see that physics highest will be 453. I'm sure you'll be able to find out rest of the values also. So the highest overall percentage will be coming for the subject of physics. This is how you are supposed to solve this question. This question is actually a question of additional value rather than a percentage value, right? Student who will not be able to see that the basis of all these percentages of in each of these cases same, and that same base will come in the denominator, which will cancel with each other. So ultimately the comparison will depend on these percentage values, the total of these percentage value rather than the base. So if you can get to this point, you will be simply doing the addition and finding the answer, instead of that particular student who do not know the concept. He will be finding these percentages and he'll actually not be able to solve the question in exam, because finding all these percentages for all of these values and doing the comparison is a stupidity, right? You'll not be able to solve the question. Now, next question number 5 here. Among Arvind, Abhinay and Divya, who scored the highest percentage of marks? Okay. So now we are supposed to do the comparison again question. See guys, data interpretation, whenever there is a specific type of data interpretation question which always judge you on your ability to do the comparison, but the students do this mistake of finding the unique values. You're not supposed to find out the unique values when it comes to the comparison. You need to compare the values. Do not waste time in calculating the values when there is a question of comparison. We are supposed to compare only 3 persons, Divya, Arvind and Abhinay. You pick any 2 people, right? You see that if I want to compare Abhinay and Arvind, you see that Arvind is having 10% extra here. So this 10% extra in Tamil will be giving him plus 15, lead of plus 15. This is 10% extra. This 10% extra will give him a lead of 13. But then you see that this is, in math, Abhinay is having 50% extra. This will give him 50% of 120, 60, lead of 60 here. Again a lead of 7%, again a lead of value here, again a lead of 8%. You see that Abhinay has lead over 4 subjects, however Arvind has lead of only 2 subjects, and the lead of Abhinay in 4 subject is much more than lead of Arvind in 2 subjects. So do I need to do anything to calculate it? Do I need to do the calculation? I can clearly see between Abhinay and Arvind is definitely getting less marks than Abhinay. So Abhinay is a winner in these 2 cases. Now compare Abhinay with Divya. You see that Abhinay as compared to Divya is having a lead of 20% of 150. That means a lead of plus 30, right? 75 here, 65, lead of 10% plus 13. And in this case, 90, 66, again a lead of 40, 30, 34%, 24%. 24% of 12 will be will be approximately 24% of 120. This would be around 30 marks, right? Plus more than 30. This is again, now here Divya is lead at 8% marks. That means plus 8. Here again, Abhinay is having a lead over Divya. Here also Abhinay is having a lead over Divya. Divya is having more marks than Abhinay in just 1 subject. However, Abhinay is having a lead over Divya in 5 subjects. And the lead of Divya is very less as compared to the lead of Abhinay. So you can clearly see between Abhinay and Divya, again Abhinay is winner. So the highest marks among the given students will be Abhinay. Who scored the highest mark percentage? Abhinay scored the highest percentage, right? It's a comparison based question. Examiner is not asking you to find out the values. This is a way of solving the question, guys, right? If you follow this approach, you will be able to solve the questions of DI in less time, and you will be able to maintain a speed of solving one question in 1 minute, right? In fact, you can see that these techniques can also help you solving the question in less than 1 minute, right? Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. And there will be more data interpretation and quantitative aptitude session that I will be uploading on the channel for your Maharashtra CT exam. Follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, share it with all of your friends. Thank you so much for watching the video. And you guys can also do my 40 days crash course on Maharashtra CT on Unacademy Plus, which is completely free. I'm going to take a complete Maharashtra CT plus special classes. Links will be given to you on my Telegram group. The Telegram group link is given in the description part of the video. You guys can join the description. You can look at the description, join my Telegram group, get the updates of all my videos and the special classes I'll be taking for students preparing for Maharashtra CT. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please share it with all of your friends. Thank you.